I had a realization. I'm a hipster. This wasn't really something I'd thought of myself as, but it came to me during a conversation with someone where they said something along the lines of, oh yes, I'm basically a hipster because I collect vinyl. And I paused, and I thought about my vinyl collection, and my CD collection, and my cassette collection. And I looked down at the $30 Walkman I had just bought from eBay and had gotten delivered to me that day. And I said, huh, I guess I'm a hipster. So I thought about that for a little bit, and I decided to embrace that fact and not try to fight it. I'm fairly happy with who I am. And I thought about it some more, and I said, there's actually some pretty cool benefits. So I figured the best thing I could do today was to share with you guys some of the information that I've learned, specifically about vinyl, my favorite form of listening to music in the hipster way. So I wanted to tell you about vinyl. I wanted to tell you about use, care, and value. 3 important things. So, introduction, cool. Add a slide for that. Value. Why do people even listen to vinyl? It's outdated, it's big, it's clunky. Why do they do it? There's actually a couple reasons. A lot of people think that there's actually a richer sound quality. I know myself, just from personal experience, like I heard Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band on my phone. I bought it as an album on Google Play, and I'm like, okay, cool. But I didn't really love it. And then one day, I happened to hear it from a record player, and I was like, I actually really like this. And I went back and I listened to it on my phone, and I couldn't put my finger on it, but I just didn't like it as much. So there does appear to be some sort of intangible, maybe it's psychological thing, but a lot of people do claim that it just sounds better coming from vinyl, and that may have something to do with the pulses and whatever that they use it to store it electronically. There's also a ritualistic aspect to it. When you want to play something on your phone, you pull it up. You pull up the song you want to listen to, and you click it, and it plays. Great. On vinyl, you tend to listen to whole albums at a time, because they're on there in an order. You gotta take it out, and you gotta take the folder out of the case, and you gotta take the disc out of the folder, and you gotta put it on the record player, and you gotta move the needle, careful not to scratch it or anything, and you gotta put it on, and then it plays. It has been shown that the more time you put into preparing something, the more likely you are to enjoy it. Like, you're more likely to enjoy cookies that you baked than you bought at a store. More things, aesthetic. I mean, it just looks cool. It is, because it goes around, and the needle goes through the grooves and just spins around. It's kind of mesmerizing to watch, and maybe I'm just easily entertained. But sometimes I like to just watch the needle move slowly toward the inside of my favorite discs. That can be super fun. Not super fun. That can be interesting. It can be good. It can be kind of fun. It is a bit trendy. Trendy, cool, hip, lit, in, righteous, groovy, all that, bodacious, bees, knees, eye, kosher, gay, chill, rad, all stuff like that. It is making a comeback. Vinyl is making a comeback. Newer albums like Hamilton or like Radiohead albums are being re-released on vinyl. Because people just like them. They got bigger artwork. You can be like, yes, oh, I have OK Computer on vinyl. Yeah, I'm cool. It's fun. It's good. You can show people your collection and all that jazz. So, how does it work, though? Well, I have a better understanding of how vinyl works than I do how music is stored in your phone. I obviously have no idea how music is stored in your phone. Like, I know there's got to be a way, but it might as well be like magic to me. I really don't know. But vinyl, you can actually see it. So, according to Meredith Bauer, there's grooves on the discs. You can see them. And you take the needle. It's actually kind of interesting. You take the needle and you put it on the groove, and it starts spinning, and it goes through. And as it moves through the groove is built in such a way that it vibrates the needle so fast that it makes vibrations that make sound waves. If you were to actually put a record on a record player and turn the volume all the way down, like mute it completely, and listen, you can actually hear the music being played because it's just the sound of the needle moving through the grooves. And then there's an amplifier in the arm that takes that sound wave, that vibration, and it amplifies it through the speakers so you can listen to it on a more practical level, not in like a hushed room or something. Which is pretty cool, I think. So, how do you take care of these? How do you take care of these? You gotta, first thing you gotta do, really just don't break it. Mark Henschel essentially recommends not breaking it. You know, don't bump it, drop it, bop it, flick it, pull it, twist it. You can spin it. That is kind of important in playing the music. That's how it works. But you know, don't scratch it, bend it, snap it. It can get dirty, and that's not terrible. But in the long run, you don't really want to do that. Like fingerprints, like a CD. You get fingerprints on a CD. You put it in, it doesn't work. You're gonna I gotta take it out and clean it. The needle will just go through any dirt. Now, in the long run, it is a bit damaging to the disc, but for the most part, it's not a big deal. If you bump it, it is a bit different than a CD player. If you bump a CD player, it'll just stop and then it'll go on for a second. If you bump a phone, literally nothing happens. If you bump a vinyl, a record player, the needle can move and scratch the disc, and then you can't listen to the music anymore because there's a new groove, and it's just so that's not good. So I like vinyl. I think it's interesting. It's gonna, they say it's gonna outlive all of us because, you know, someday the sun is gonna do a supernova thing and all the magnets are gonna be wiped out, and that's another thing. It's cool. I like it because it's cool. And I'm okay with that. That's pretty shallow, and I'm okay with that. And you can like it because it's cool also. It's trendy, it's obsolete, it's a waste of time, and that's why it's great. I don't know how to explain it better. You can now, if you were kind of interested in maybe getting out and buying a record player and getting some discs, now you know like basically how it works and how to take care of them.
That's